If you try to get right, then you listen to my dad. He's a beast. And if you don't want to listen to him, okay, you don't want to get successful. If you ain't trying to dominate, man, then go listen to something else.
Welcome, athletes, top performers, and all those looking to gain that killer instinct, that edge you need to dominate in any environment. This is the Sports Motivation Podcast, and I'm your host, Niyi Sobo. I played ball and succeeded at the highest levels, and I'm now committed to showing you how you can accomplish the ambitious goals and visions that you have. This podcast is designed to teach you high-level strategy, not just fluff and hype. This will cut to the core if you let it. And by taking action on the practical and next level advice I share, you will see results. Expect that. Expect to be more confident. Expect to be more focused. Expect to be more decisive. And expect to be more fearless. Expect to become the leader your vision needs you to become. So listen up. Take notes. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Sports Motivation Podcast. It's your host, Niyi Sobo. Hey, today I'm in one of those moods. I'm just warning you beforehand, all right? So I remember it was like probably like a year ago, honestly. You know, growing up, I'm just going to keep it real, man. So my dad came to America when he was 18 years old. My dad was a Christian, or is a Christian. He's actually a pastor. We grew up, me and my three brothers, four boys. I'm the third out of four boys. We grew up in a church. We never cursed. That was something that we took pride in, actually. Like, we knew we were different. We didn't curse. Not only that, if we cursed, we would guarantee to get it from my pops. My point in telling you in all of this is that I have since grown up. I'm 32 years old now, and I know who I am. So here's what I'm saying. About a year ago, I threw a few curse words on an episode or two. My philosophy towards cursing is this. I don't use it a lot in public. I think it can be tacky. However, I use it in certain times because that's how I feel at certain times. So I understand the importance of expressing yourself, communicating what it is that you want, what it is that you feel. And sometimes, a curse word might do the best to represent what it is that you're feeling. So I believe it's a balance. It's a give and take, but I tend to err on the side of doing what I want at this point in my life. So I guess what I'm saying is when I brought up last year, I had somebody reach out to me, and they were a fan of the podcast. He actually wrote me a letter, and he was telling me how much he loves the podcast. He appreciates it. But he was really upset at me for cursing, And so I remember after I got that, I felt kind of weird. I was like, oh, shoot, I wonder if a lot of people feel like this, because I didn't feel like it was a big deal because I don't do it all the time. I feel like I do it sparingly. But at this point of the game, if you are offended by a curse word, I apologize. You might want to listen to another episode. You might want to listen to another podcast. Because I'm going to say how I feel, all right? Because as I further myself along in this journey that we call life, I feel like more and more I start to separate myself from the masses. And I imagine you're probably experiencing the same thing. And so today's episode, I want to lay out for you very explicitly, very clearly, how to develop what we call a don't give a fuck mindset. Mentality. Now, what do I mean by don't give a fuck mindset? I mean someone who approaches life in a way that says, I'm going to do it how I want to do it. I'm going to play my sport how I want to play it. Russell Westbrook, Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, KD. By the way, you don't have to have an outrageous, personality in order to have a not give a fuck mindset, because the opposite of that is those who are overwhelmed with the opinions of others, over concerned, scared, soft. So I don't want that to be you. And I get fired up about it because, like I told you, I see, man, I have a lot of people that I work with, that I come in contact with through my work. And I see it a lot. People are scared. People are soft. People don't have confidence in themselves and what they're doing. And it doesn't matter what you're doing, sports, business, etc. It doesn't matter. But I want to lay out for you because you say, well, how do I do that? These guys aren't born like that. You know, luckily I had a father who raised his 4 sons in a way that didn't overmanage us. We were held to a high standard, but essentially he let us be who we are. A lot of people don't grow up like that. I feel blessed. A lot of people grow up with parents who are overbearing, who try to put them in the box, and then they have to overcome all these things. But let me not act like I was confident my whole life. I was shy growing up in high school, insecure. I felt like I was the only one out of my brothers who wasn't going to be successful, who wasn't living up to the standard. Felt certain ways about what I should do. Can you believe I wanted to be a lawyer after college? That's what I said I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do. That's what my dad told me I should do. I didn't have a not give a fuck mentality. I didn't have a killer instinct. I didn't have supreme confidence. So I'm not trying to act like I was born with it or it came natural to me. I want to show you how I built it, though. And I want to show you that you can and should have it as well. Because if you don't, man, the cost is average. Dude, I always refer back to the Frederick Douglass, man, narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass. He talked about when he first learned how to read. If you don't know who Frederick Douglass is, he was born into slavery. He escaped and became an abolitionist. You know, was key in bringing awareness to slavery in the 1800s and things. Anyway, read the book. My point is, he learned how to read, right? And he said as he was learning how to read, he started reading, obviously. And as he read, his mind, he got more smart. He became more aware. And as he became more aware, he said it was painful because he realized how much his people were oppressed. He realized how sick the whole system of slavery was. And he said at some points, he wished he didn't even know how to read. I feel that way sometimes. As I gain more awareness and I see what's actually going on, I see what's actually happening. I see my clients, my athletes that I work with, see what they're struggling with. See the things that's going on in the school system with my kids. I get fired up. I wish I didn't even know. But I do know. So to whom much is given, much is required. So I'm going to tell you how to develop a killer instinct in yourself. How to start giving a fuck less about what others think. And building some confidence about yourself. All right. So here's first number 1, man. I'm going to break it down step by step. I think I got 7 steps that I want to break down for y'all. And this is based on my experience. All right. This is based on my experience. Where I'm at in life. And let me remind you, as human beings, we are pack creatures. We're pack animals. So we're always going to value the opinions of others. That will always be the case. So don't let me convince you that I don't care what anyone thinks about me. That's not true. But when I say that, to what degree do you? Do you understand what I'm saying? To what degree are you fulfilling your purpose? We're always going to care what people think. We're always going to care. I remember this was just, I think, what was it? A month or 2 ago, I was with my dad. I was with my family, my dad at the mall, right? We were all hanging out. The whole family, my mom and dad, I think was my brothers there? I can't remember. But anyway, we're walking in the mall and we're with my dad. And my dad is a strong presence. His opinion matters a lot to me. It always has. I actually I had a breakthrough when I was about 28 years old. When I finally broke down crying to my dad, telling him how much I just wanted to make him happy. And, and that was actually a breakthrough for me because it was when I finally started separating from this idea that I was living life just to make my dad happy. But anyway, my point is, I'm 32 years old. I got 5 children. I still like to make my dad happy. We were in the what's it called? The elevator, right? And he was telling me about how he was at his church. And he was telling the people in his church about I'm Not You. And he was telling them about, he's like, my son. He was like, and my dad has a Nigerian accent. He's like, I told him, I said, it's my son. He said, my son says, I'm not you. I said, yeah, that's my son. And he was repping I'm Not You. He was talking about how much he agrees with the philosophy, how much he loves what I'm doing. And he was bragging about me to the people at his church. When I tell you I felt like a 3-year-old boy or a 5-year-old kid who just scored a goal and his dad came out and hugged him on the field. I felt so good. That made me feel happy. I value what my dad thinks. However, if I value what my dad thinks, I wouldn't be talking more than I do. I wouldn't be talking to you on this podcast because my dad told me I shouldn't have quit my job as a firefighter. He didn't understand what I was doing. My dad didn't think I should play football. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I want for you is to develop a sense of confidence about yourself, to separate yourself. I don't care how old you are. You be in high school. It's not mommy and daddy's world. No, it's your world. You're the star movie or a star actor in your own movie. I don't want you to be a role player in somebody else's movie or an extra. So here's how we're going to break. Number one. All right. Number one, if you want to develop a more confident, aggressive mindset towards life to separate yourself from the opinions of others, you have to find someone who doesn't give a fuck and listen to them. Find them. Find them. You will not do anything different in the same environment that you're in. All right. That's very critical. So you're probably saying, well, how do I find them? Find them. Books, coaches, pay whatever it costs. People pay a lot of money to me to have me coach them. Find a coach. Find somebody. Read books. When I tell you my kids know 50th Law, when they hear it, I listen to that audiobook damn near every day. That shit seep into my bloodstream. Find somebody who represents the philosophy that you want and immerse yourself in it. Spend time with them. You need to overcome your environment. You can't do the same shit and expect different results. Get in a different environment. If you stay in the same environment, just expect that you're probably not going to ever grow out of this mindset. Because guess what? It's hard. It's hard. Because whatever mindset you have, you've been conditioned that way. You've reinforced it over and over and over for several years. If somebody's fat, they're going to stay fat until they start doing something different. And most of the time, they don't do anything different because they hang around the same fat people in the same fat environment with the same fat treats in their kitchen. So if you want something different, then hang around somebody different. Do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. It's no wonder why programs like Weight Watchers work. It's no wonder why people love going to seminars and motivational and all this. And people bagging motivation. Fuck that. Motivation works. You need motivation. You need motivation to change. So find somebody who represents that mindset. Maybe it's me. Listen to me every day. Listen to every episode. Put it on 8 hours a day. At every waking moment. Every time you drive. Every time you brush your teeth. Every time you take a shit. Put thoughts of power, courage, confidence into your brain. Every single moment that you get. Every single one. That's the cost. That's what it costs. Find somebody who's ever been, and I always use the overweight example. I hope you don't think I'm picking on fat people or anything like that. My point in the overweight thing is because that's very physical, it's very tangible. We've seen people who have been 300, 400 pounds and mess around and get down to 150. How do they do that shit? It's not easy, I'll tell you that. They don't do it like, cutting calories by, 20 calories. It's some drastic shit that goes on. Usually got to go to some sort of boot camp, right? Because whatever philosophy they've been living by, whatever environment they've been in, that shit is strong. So you need to find some person, some environment, some books, shit. Listen to somebody. Listen to them over and over, unless you want to stay the same. Number 2, man, confront your fears. Learn about your fears. What are you scared of, all right? And don't judge yourself about it. Just be straight up. What are you scared of? You scared that people going to talk about you? You scared that, daddy and mommy ain't going to, love you when you come back home? You scared that, you're going to be broke? You scared you're going to have to be poor? What are you scared of? Identify your fears. Know about them. Learn about them. Uncover them. And when you keep asking yourself why, you know what you're going to realize? You have the same fears as everybody else. Everyone got the same shit. So what does that tell you? We're all the same. We're all the same. We're animals, by the way. At the end of the day, you and I are animals. So we have instincts. We were wired to survive. We have biases, cognitive biases. I talk about them all the time. We have ways that we think that are primal instincts that are wired for us to survive. So what you'll realize is, oh man, no wonder I'm afraid. No wonder I'm afraid to quit my job. I'm wired to have safety and security. But guess what? It's 2017. I live in the United States. Maybe some of you live in a third world country. Those of you live in the United States, you got it good, man. You'll learn about your fears. Your fears aren't that big. You scared to play in a game? You scared to make a mistake in a game? Come on, man. You scared to take a shot? What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled out of the game? Okay, then what? Oh, then the coach said, then what? Then what's that mean? What's that mean? What's that mean? What's that mean? Nothing. Nothing. You still alive. You still breathing. You ain't about to die. Nothing's about to happen to you. Talking about even quitting your job, man. Come on, man. We live in America, dude. Get unemployment if you can't figure it out. But do something. Confront your fears. And then next, after you confront them, after you learn about them, take risks. Actually do something. The reason why you still act like a bitch is because you don't take risks. Take risks. That means taking risk means it feels risky. It should feel risky. So you should feel like a little bitch. But take the risk anyway. Do it. You need to do things that prove your courage. You need to earn that shit. You don't just get it. You don't just gain a confidence just because you listen to a podcast or listen to a book or went to a seminar. You need to actually do it. It develops your muscles, your mental muscles, mental stamina. Remember, we talked about it. Mental strength, agility. You need to build it. You don't get strong by reading a book by Arnold Schwarzenegger. You get strong by getting your ass in the gym and lifting heavy ass weights. Take risk. Do something. Most of y'all ain't even got no real risk to take anyway. Somebody who ain't even got no kids, scared about quitting your job, man, move in with your parents for a year or two. Start your own business. Some of y'all grew up with mom and dad, you ain't got not a worry in the world, and you scared to shoot a shot in the game. You scared to take a trip somewhere. You scared to take a class. You scared of a test. Take a risk, man. Build some courage. Get some mental strength about yourself. Stand out from everybody else, man. You said you wanted to develop that type of mindset, though, right? That's what you said. Well, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. This is the price I paid. Why should you get something that somebody else has and not put in what it costs? Look at somebody who's ripped up, chiseled up. Go ask them how many hours they work out in the gym. Go ask them what they do every day. Why should you think you should get those results without doing what they did? You need to do it. So some of y'all want to be rich, but you don't want to put in the work. If you read Ralph Waldo Emerson, Essay on Compensation, he talks about the law of compensation. Basically, you reap what you sow. You get what you give. Nature works in perfect harmony. You put in that work, you will get results. You will. If you think the thoughts, take the actions, move in the way that somebody moves when they get a certain result, you will get the result. Take the risk, man. Do it. Do it.
Just do it.
You want to be a leader on your team, but you're scared to take shots. Sorry. You're not going to be a leader. Nobody's going to respect you. Respect doesn't come from that. Your coach won't respect you. I don't respect you. Your teammates don't respect you if you're scared. People respect people who are bold. Fortune favors the bold. That quote, right? Fortune favors the bold. You want fortune, success, achievement, whatever it is that fortune means to you in your sport, in your life, in your relationships, it favors the bold. So take a risk. Next. After you found a person, a mentor, immerse yourself in their presence, you confront your fears, you take the risk. You need to create a mindset that makes you immune to failure. I talked about this in an episode or two ago. You need to go back and listen to it because it's a breakthrough. You create a mindset. All right, now what do I mean by a mindset? Everything that you do are based on beliefs that you have. Now, what is a belief? Is something that you feel is true. That's it. So you might not even be able to put a belief into words, but trust me, you have beliefs. If you procrastinate, that means you think that something is painful. and you think that because something is painful, you shouldn't do it. That's your unconscious belief. That is what's wiring you. So you have a set of code. That's why I call it a G code. You have a code like a computer, right? That's guiding all of your actions. And that's why you're getting the results. And you wonder why you're getting the results because you don't know what the code is. You don't know what it is. You don't know what the beliefs are. So you know what you need to do? Create and establish your own code. Create your G code. So create a code that makes you immune to failure. Because most of us, well, all of us, I should say, are scared of failure. We're afraid, right? We're afraid. I'm afraid to fail. I don't like failing as much as you do. I don't enjoy failing, by the way. But guess what? I create a mindset, a G code that makes me immune to failure. I can't be touched by failure. You know why? Because I will never fail. As long as I'm alive, as long as I'm committed to my goals, as long as I'm moving forward, there's no way I can fail. So who cares if nobody listens to my podcast? Who cares if my business fails? I'll start another one. I won't stop. You think I'm going to stop just because something didn't work out? But you think just because you missed that shot, you failed. You think just because you made a mistake, you failed. No. You establish the mindset. So, Niyi, how do you do that? Take out a piece of paper and write the shit down. It's not rocket science. Some of y'all waiting for some fancy little gadget or some system to come in place. It's not rocket science. Take out a piece of paper and write the shit down. Write down what you want to believe. What would you believe to be true if you were living life at the highest level? And you say, well, I don't believe it yet. We'll establish it. Come on, man. Don't get me started, man. Oh, well, I don't know if I can do it. Who cares, man? Write it down. Make the goal. Some of you have things that are holding you back, things that are preventing you from moving forward, and you keep getting upset, keep getting frustrated. And if I ask you what your goal is, you can't say it. You start umming and on. Establish a goal. That's 101. I teach my kids that. Don't tell me what the problem is. Identify the problem. Now, what do you want? Okay, what's the problem? Now, what do you want? That's a discipline everyone must develop. Focus on solutions. So use the problem to alert you of what the solution could be. What is it that you want? Some of you don't like what you believe. You hanging it like, yeah, I got these beliefs that who cares? So what's the new belief then? Newsflash, you can't get rid of a habit. You cannot get rid of a habit. Guess what though? You can replace it, but you can't get rid of it. You cannot get rid of it. In the Bible, it has a story about that demons. You drive a few demons out, 7 more are going to come back to an empty house. You got to fill the house. You got to create a new neural pathway. That pathway is never going to be gone. Now it get weaker. Your subconscious mind records everything. You create your own mindset. You establish your own code. Don't establish the code that's been given to you by some, experience when you were little or something that happened, some game, some coach you had. Some of y'all being bullied by coaches, man, that's your fault. That's your fault. Acting like a coach is messing up your experience. No, that's your fault. You establish the reality. You create that. I'm going to do a whole episode on that, though. I'm going to come back to that. A lot of people, matter of fact, let me write it down. Write this shit down. Hold on. Got to speak more on that, man. Create a mindset that makes you immune to failure, to disappointment. That don't mean you won't feel failure or disappointment, by the way. But then you go back to your mindset and you grind it in. And guess what happens with repetition? Just because you said you wanted to live 315, you wanted to lift 315, doesn't mean you're going to do it. So what, you going to give up? No, come back the next week and push it again and keep pushing it until you get it. And as soon as you get it, set a new goal, 325. And then you don't get it for 3 weeks and then finally get it. Then set a new goal to 350. Then you're going to go up in there and you're not going to get it. And you're going to keep trying. You're going to keep trying. And then you're going to finally almost get it. And then you're going to drop on your chest. Then you're going to come back and you're going to be frustrated. Well, keep getting it. And then set the new goal. That's what you do with beliefs. Create that mindset. I don't care if you don't believe it. Don't tell me it doesn't work. Don't tell me that. That's like somebody starting a diet, eating it right for 2 days, talking about it doesn't work. No, keep doing it. And then you come back and tell me it doesn't work. I dare you. I dare you to create your own G code and read it every single day with enthusiasm, with passion, with some music playing in the background. I dare you to read that. And you see what happens. You see what happens. You watch what happens. But don't tell me it doesn't work. The next step. This is critical, all right? I talked about taking risks, but here's the thing. You have to act. You have to move much earlier than you think you need to. You have to move before you're ready. We've heard that, right? You see the quotes on Instagram. You guys quote them all the time. You read in the books, but you don't do it, though. You don't do it. You might sit down planning, but you never move. You waiting for the perfect plan. Oh, yeah, I got to wait for a few years, before I do this. Yeah, no, the coach said that, I should probably just take this year and, do this. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. I'm just going to. And then you rationalize it. Nah, fuck that. I move before I'm ready. I move before I'm ready. Don't look at other people for your example. Look at the people who actually get it in life. They move much before they're ready. Look at Martin Luther King. He moved before he was ready, right? Look at Kobe Bryant. He moved before he was ready. He was 17 years old. He couldn't even sign his own contract. People telling him he wasn't ready. Was he ready? Will you ever be ready? Will you ever really be ready? Honestly, no, you won't. Attack procrastination. Don't wait. Don't wait. Attack procrastination. So if you notice yourself procrastinating, you better attack that. Attack it. That's a weakness. That's a liability. Attack it. No mercy. Attack it. Move on it. Waiting too long, man. Waiting too long. Every stage of my life, I wish I would have quit my job earlier. I wish I would have got started with a lot of shit earlier. And guess what? Every time I made a move in my career, in my life, anytime, great things happen as a result. I never look back and regret moving too fast. Never. Not yet. Maybe I will later. I don't know. Time will tell. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. So far, though, so good. Matter of fact, I wish I would have moved earlier on a lot of shit. Some of y'all wait too long, man. Act right now. Do it right now. Stop putting things off. You can do a lot more than you think you can do when you push yourself. Plato in the Republic, he said, necessity is the mother of all invention. Necessity. That means if you got to, it will happen. Look at all the shit we done invented. Once the need is there, we make it happen. So act before you're ready. That's how you develop trust in yourself, right? And isn't that what we're talking about? Somebody who has a lot of confidence in themselves, they have a lot of trust in themselves. They believe they can get it done, even when they're in a situation that they're unfamiliar with. You know why? Because they can adjust. They've built trust in themselves because they've come through before. How do you build trust in a relationship? You don't just meet someone and have trust, right? Hopefully you don't. You have trust because you've seen them perform in a certain way under certain circumstances. The more trust you have in them, most likely you've been through more things with them, right? So that's how you build trust in yourself. So you can't get around that. So do things and develop trust in yourself. But you got to attack it, all right? The next thing, organize your life. Your life needs to be organized. It's too messy of a world out there right now. And I don't want to sound like that guy, that downer who's always acting like the world's so horrible. No, this is a great time to be alive. Like Drake said, oh, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. I love being alive in 2017. But look, there's the other side to every coin, right? So as much as this technology has opened up so many doors, so many great opportunities for us, as much as we're advancing as a society, there's also some downside to it. It's messy out there. Your phone is dangerous. Too much distraction. Too many things, too many restaurants to go to, too many movies to watch. I was on Netflix the other day. I was overwhelmed. I don't know what to watch. I don't even watch TV, man. Every once in a while, I sit down with my kids, watch a little movie. You know, my wife wants to watch a little movie. We watch a movie. I like going out to the movies, me personally. But we watched a little movie. Went on Netflix. I don't know what to watch, man. It's too many shows. I don't know how you guys binging out on all these shows and you ain't reaching your goals. I don't know how you're doing it. If you're unhappy with some area of your life and you binge out on Netflix shows, hey, I don't understand you. I'll just say that. I don't understand you. Your life must be organized. If you go into Fortune 500 company, and you ask them, break me down the certain elements of this company, will they stutter? No, they'll tell you, okay, we have marketing, we have innovation, we have research and development, we have customer service here. Who's in charge of customer service? Oh, Dr. Watley, he's in charge of customer service, and who's under him? Oh, well, it's actually broken into 3 sections. Boom, boom, boom. Or what about your marketing? How do you guys approach that? Well, we have a really interesting philosophy here with marketing. We like to do it, boom, boom, boom. And you ask them questions, they'll know. But if you go to a company that's getting ready to shut down, that nobody knows about, they won't be able to answer those questions. So what's that mean for you? Are you running your life like a little broke down mom and pop shop who barely breaking even? Or are you running your life like a Fortune 500 company? You running your life like Google, Facebook. You got your shit mapped out long term. Outcomes you're responsible for each day. Who's responsible for what? Who does what? What metrics do you use? That's how your life needs to be organized. I'm talking about you personally, your life. I ain't even got to your goals yet that need to be mapped out the same way. Your life. Some of y'all going around, browsing podcasts, trying to find little quick, easy solutions. It's not quick and easy, man. It's a trip when I get on the phone with some of these people for my coaching program. And they tell me all their goals and stuff, and then I tell them how much it costs, and they acting like they expected it to be $100. You think you're trying to achieve greatness for $100? Go listen to some podcasts then, man. I'll tell them, keep listening to my podcast. You'll get a lot from it. And you watch me and my clients soar. We going to the top. And I'm not just talking about my coaching program. I'm talking about something that represents something of high quality that's going to represent the type of goals that you want. You trying to be a world-class, biker, you're not going to get a puny little bike from Walmart. If you do, you shouldn't expect to be great. Get the best, man. Organize your life. Get your shit together. Get a consultant. Get a coach. Get a trainer. Get something that's going to show you how to be great. That's going to help you map it out. I happen to have systems and philosophies mapped out around all my shit. All of it. And it's growing every day. It's evolving every day. Every day I realize how unorganized I am in certain areas of my life. Every day I'm working for more mastery. And guess what it does? It doesn't make me more rigid. No, it's the opposite. It makes me more flexible. It makes me more nimble. It gives me more energy. It gives me more clarity. It gives me more peace of mind. I'm more calm. I'm more confident. I'm more creative. The more organized I get, the more creative I am. I don't know how you work. Maybe you need to identify how you work and what your strategies are. You need to be organized. I don't know what organized means for you though, right? Either way, get your shit together is what I'm saying. That's what that represents. Run your life like you would your career as an athlete, like you a Fortune 500 company. That's what I say when Drew Brees. That's how he runs his life. They got this shit mapped out. Supplements, workouts, prehab, film, family time, weightlifting, boom. Meeting with coaches, boom. Going out with teammates, boom. Meeting with your receivers, boom. Mapped out. Not random. Not random. Not random. You can't be random. That's if you want to develop a don't give a fuck mindset, mentality. And that's what this was all about, right? You probably didn't realize that it had to do with organization, huh? That's not sexy, huh? That's what they don't tell you, though. That's what these little Facebook memes don't tell you. That's what they don't tell you. But I'm going to tell you because it's my obligation. I have to. Lastly, this is probably the most important. That's why I saved it for last. You need to connect to God each day. You need to connect to whoever your God is. You need to connect to your higher self. And when I say God, I don't have to say that in any type of religious way. All I mean is connect to nature, connect to your true essence, connect to it. When you see an animal, does the animal look like it cares what you think? No, it doesn't. You know why? Because it's connected to God. It's connected to nature. It's living its highest purpose. When it's not, it don't have confidence. So if you want confidence, connect to your higher purpose. That's what God represents, your higher purpose. How do I know it? First off, go listen to the episode, How to Find Your Life Purpose. I explain it deeply, but real quickly, it's real simple. Feel it. What's the feeling? What's your purpose right now? What do you need to do right now to move, to grow? Everyone's purpose is to grow. So if you don't know what your purpose is, just say my life purpose is to grow and then get to growing. And you'll gain clarity as you go along. But it's a feeling at the end of the day. Your purpose is a feeling. It's helpful to be able to articulate it into words. It is helpful, but it's a feeling. Connect to it each day. That should be your goal each morning. Meditate, sit in silence. You don't know what your purpose is? Guess what? Ask. Ask and you shall receive. Isn't that what it says in the Bible? Knock and the door shall be open to you. Seek and you shall find. What's the problem? Then what do you want? It's the same thing, right? What's your problem? Don't have purpose? Then ask for your purpose. Sit down in a chair and demand from God that he shows you your life purpose. Do that every day. Do that every day. Instead of complaining that you don't know what your life purpose is and, going on your phone all day and going to, the happy hour and getting margaritas and shit. Sit down for 5 minutes in the morning and connect to God. Say, what's your purpose? What's my purpose, God? Tell me what's my purpose. Thank you for showing me 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 my purpose. You'll find it. I guarantee you. But don't say you won't find it until you try what I just told you. It's not rocket science, man. I'm over here giving y'all game. It's not rocket science. So that's what I got. 1 through 7, right? And you know what the opposite of the not give a fuck mentality is? The don't give a fuck mindset that we see in these people and these stars that we admire. You know what the opposite is? A softie, a coward, a sucker, a simp, weakling. Don't be that. Don't be that. We all can be that. I've been that. I am that at times. Every day, your job is to check yourself. Connect to God each day. Because I'll get scared. I get scared all the time. Shit, I'm scared about releasing this podcast. But I'm going to do it. Brandon, you better not edit out. I'm going to do it because you need to hear it. I get scared. I get nervous. Man, what if it's not going to work out? What if it's not going to work out? I just went through a time financially, man, where I put all my chips on the table. I was scared. All my chips. I'm trying to take this shit to the next level. I invested all my shit. My wife is like, what you doing? I'm like, yeah, this is what we got to do. So we not ready. That's what she said. We not ready. But I know you got to move before you're ready. What if it don't work out? I don't know. We'll see, man. But I'm here today. I'm closing deals. I'm moving fast. My programs is growing. My audience is growing. I'm moving. I'm here today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. They can snatch everything right from under me. I don't know. We'll see. I get scared too, man. I get scared too. I get nervous too. I feel pressure too. That don't mean you got to succumb to it though. You don't have to be a softie. You don't have to be a coward. You don't have to be weak. You can be strong. You can be strong. You can be confident. You can feel a strong, deep sense of purpose that resonates with you at your core, that moves you to your core, that you can feel it deep in your bones, not in your blood, your bones. You feel that. You can do that. Follow those steps, man. Listen to this over again. You got it, man. You got it. If you are offended by the words that I said, I don't even know what to say, man. I had to say it, though. It's for you. So listen. How does this apply to you? If you're honest, how does this apply to you? Ask yourself. Do you need to confront your fears? Do you need to learn more about your fears? Are you trying to hide your fears? Those people who are super prideful, those people you might play with or work with who have a lot of pride and ego, that's just insecurity. They're just hiding their fears. They're scared just like you and I. They're just afraid. They're just afraid. Do you need to confront your fears? Do you need to find yourself a mentor that you hang around, that you listen to every single day? Don't say you don't have the time to go around somebody or you don't have the money. Don't say you don't have the money for a coach. Listen to a book then. Listen to an audio book. Listen to a podcast. Go on YouTube and watch videos of Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill don't give a fuck. Listen to Napoleon Hill. If you don't know who, listen to him or listen to me. Do you need to take more risks? Do you need to develop and create your G code? Do you need to start acting before you're ready? Do you plan too much? Do you procrastinate too much? Do you need to organize your life? Do you need to connect to God each day? Do you need to meditate more? Do you need to pray more? Do you need to do yoga more? Whatever it is, do you need to take more nature walks? Do you need to cook more? What do you do to connect to your higher purpose? Do it. That's how you develop it, all right? Do you believe me? If you believe me, then go do it. If you don't believe me, then tell me what works for you. I want to hear how you've developed that type of mentality. This is how I have. Let's go, man. I'll talk soon. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Sports Motivation Podcast. Make sure if you dig in the podcast, go and subscribe so you can always get the latest episodes. I come out with a new episode twice a week on Tuesday and Friday at 3 a.m. Eastern. And make sure you go ahead and rate it and leave me a good review. As always, I appreciate you tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Much love. One of the most common questions I get from athletes all the time is this: what is the single best thing I can do to reach my goals? How can I set myself apart from everybody else? Obviously, there are a lot of things, but the one thing that's helped set me apart was having a coach, a mentor, someone to show me the right strategies and how I need to do things specifically to achieve my results. So you could try to do it on your own, but you'll end up making many mistakes that could have been avoided if you had someone guiding you and coaching you along the way. 99% of athletes in the world have expert coaches to show them the things that they can't see. If you want to work with me as your coach, I want you to go to IMNOTYOU.com/SRC and learn more and sign up for a free coaching session. I'll give you 60 minutes of my time for free, and I can teach you some dynamic strategies, plus show you how you can secure me as your sports results coach. All I ask is that you fit in this criteria. You're serious about your sport, you're willing to invest the time and money, and you have clear goals of taking your game to the next level, or some sort of specific results you want to achieve. This is definitely not for everyone, and I have very limited spots available for this. So, if this applies to you, I want you to take action. Go to IMNOTYOU.com/SRC, and I guarantee you're going to take your game and your career to the next level.